Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining today's webinar. My name is Vasilios Lourdes. I work for KNX Association, and I'm the leader of the engineering team at KNX in Brussels. At today's session, I will present you the example of switching ++ using KNX Virtual and ETS5 Professional. I would like to start with the overview of my presentation. So here we see the different parts of the presentation, 3 in total. Part number 1, a short explanation about KNX Virtual and how to get it. Part number 2, we will have a quick overview of the KNX Virtual examples and where to find them. And part 3, we will use the imported example project of the switching ++ in ETS Professional, and we will go through it to explain the functionality. So in order to show you in practice how to create the KNX basic function switching and go through the switching ++ example, we will need some KNX devices and of course our software, ETS Professional. KNX Virtual is actually a device simulator that runs on Windows and simulates twisted paired KNX devices such as push button, switching actuator, dimming actuator, binary input, and so on and so on. Therefore, we do not need physical devices for this presentation. At first, we developed KNX Virtual for us internally at KNX Association. However, seeing the amount of requests we got from our community and from the different groups of our community, but also having seen its high potential, we have decided to make it public and enrich it with more features. It's of course free of charge for everybody, and one can get it via My KNX by placing an order. No worries, even if it requires an order, you will not be charged anything at the end of the process. Once you go through the process and complete the ordering, KNX Virtual will be made available to you directly in your My KNX account under the section My Products. Then what you have to do is to simply click the download button to get it. Once it's downloaded, you have to extract the content of the zip file to your desktop and run it. So simple. It does not require any installation, and it's of course virus-free as long as you get it from your My KNX only. If you would like to get more information about KNX Virtual, feel free to visit the KNX Virtual website at virtual.knx.org. To better understand KNX and KNX Virtual, we have prepared a set of examples that can be found on our help center at support.knx.org under Training, KNX Virtual, and then Examples, like you have seen here in the animation. In fact, there are 6 examples already available, as you can see here on the screen. The base view, which has already been explained in a previous webinar. The switching ++ view, which is the topic of today. The dimming ++ view, the blinds ++ view, the HVAC view, excuse me, room 1, and finally the room 24 view, which is going to be presented in one of our next webinars. So let's open the switching ++ view so that we can see what does it contain and what do we have to do. All the examples contain a reference ETS project file with the described building functions of each example already prepared, so that the only thing that you have to do is to simply download and import the project in ETS Professional, and then later on download the configuration of the involved devices into the KNX Virtual devices and go through the functionality description to check it. The project you see, it's available at the bottom of the article. It's very small, so you can simply download it and import it in ETS Professional. So let's go live with ETS Professional To save some time, I have already downloaded and imported the project in my ETS Professional. I'm going to open my ETS. So we see that all the necessary devices for this example are already in the project. I'm using the devices view where I can see all the devices in the project. As I said before, the project is ready for commissioning. Therefore, you do not have to search in the catalog for devices, neither you have to do any device configuration. It's plug and play. So I'm going to start my KNX Virtual. It is the latest version, and I'm checking its configuration. So I see here the IP address of the interface and its individual address, all fine, nothing to change here. So I click OK. I will go to View and then Devices, and I see all the devices with their programming buttons on the upper right corner. What I will do now is to download all the devices directly from our project. I will select all the devices, and then I will click Download. So we see here that ETS is waiting for the first device to be programmed, and ETS is asking me to press the programming button of device 1.1.1 clicks D4, and this is my clicks D4. So ETS is actually downloading the configuration of the device. You saw that the programming LED is switched off. ETS is downloading the device. And then I will continue with D7. Again, I press the programming button. You see that the individual address is taken. And then the alarm module 1.1.3 is the device D9, which is here. I'm doing the same thing here. Being downloaded. Then the next one, D10. I'm pressing the programming button. And then the last one, which is the binary input module, D11. Okay, so we do see that all the downloads were successful. However, let's also verify their programming flags. So I click the devices, and we see here that indeed their entire configuration has been downloaded. Address, application program, and all is set. Now, what the next step will be is to go back to KNX Virtual. Let's switch to the switching plus view, where we can actually see all the devices. And I will also bring the description of the building functions in front so that we can go through it. I will open the group monitor as well. So I will start the diagnostics group monitor. I'm starting it. So I will bring KNX Virtual here, and I will open the description. So let's read the description, and I will bring KNX Virtual in front and the description of the functionality in the back. in the background so that we can verify. So D41 controls D7.1. What does that mean? So D4.1, it's actually the first channel of the push button, controls D7.1, which means channel 1 of the switching actuator here, channel 1, with no feedback, however. So it switches it on, and we can also see, I will make KNX Virtual a bit smaller. I'll bring it here, and you see that the push button here switched on the lamp. However, there is no feedback on the push button. This is clear. And I will switch it off accordingly. You see the lamp is switched off, no feedback again here, and you see that also in the group monitor. Then the next item, D10.1, controls D7.1, movement plus presence detection. Let's go back to KNX Virtual. I'll bring it in front. So D10.1, so channel 1 of the movement and presence detection, controls the first light from channel 1 of the switching actuator D7. Let's try it. So there is movement here, and channel 1 goes on. There is no off send in this example. We can, however, if we want, we can configure it to send the off telegram as well. Here, in this example, the movement detection sends only the on telegram, so we will switch it off. The same for the presence detection. When I click that, then there is presence detection, light goes on. If there is no presence detected, so nobody is there, then the light goes off. Then let's check the next function. So D9.1 controls D4.1, intrusion alarm. Concretely, D11.1 triggers or removes a trigger for D9.1, intrusion alarm. And D11.2 triggers D9.1 reset. So actually, D11.2 resets the alarm. Let's see that. So we do have D11.1. I will enlarge a little bit KNX Virtual. You can always verify the telegrams that are sent to the bus directly in the group monitor, which is running here. So D11.1, which is here, triggers the alarm. And we see that alarm is triggered, and light 1, so light from channel 1, is flashing. That means that the alarm has been triggered. There is an intrusion alarm. Somebody has invaded our personal space. Now we can remove the trigger. However, you see that the light is still flashing. Why? Because we have to reset the alarm. The alarm is reset, or can be reset, via channel 2 of D11, so 11.2. And then you see the alarm module has been reset. And I switch it back to 0. And the fifth function from our today's presentation is actually D42 disables and enables D10.1 movement detection. Let's have a closer view, closer look here. So D42, which is actually the second channel of the push button, disables or enables and enables the movement detection of D10.1. So that channel, if we click it here, then we actually see, okay, movement detection was enabled, so nothing changed here. If we switch it off, then you actually see that the button here to simulate the movement detection is grayed out and it has become read-only, so we cannot actually click it. It doesn't do anything. I will enable it again, and here you see that the button is clickable again and we can simulate the movement detection. I will switch off the light again. Then let's see the next item from the switching plus view, which is actually point number 6. D4.3 enables D10.2, which is the presence detection. Let's go again to KNX Virtual, and we can see that D4.3, which is the third channel from the push button clicks, does the same, but this time with the presence detection. So I will first switch it off. So you see that the button here to simulate the presence detection has been deactivated. I cannot click it. It doesn't do anything. If I enable it again, then the button is clickable again and can simulate the presence detection.